Hey, what's up, YouTube? What's going on? It's your boy Kavion. I'm in the building, and we have Chris Unbiased Paperwork. This shit is like 100 and something pages, you know what I'm saying? But we're gonna start off on page 45. We're gonna talk about his charges, his Criminal Investigation Division Court Supplemental Report, you know what I'm saying? This was filed 2017 at 10:30. So his charges are rape, false imprisonment, battery, visible harm, robbery. Location was 7385 Ersbury Drive on the public road in the front driveway of a dwelling. We got the victim's name, and victim number 2 is unknown. We got the defendant, you see his name right there, Christopher Gunsby. That's Chris Unbiased. Then we have the synopsis. The investigation into the state of Georgia versus Christopher Gunsby, who was charged with rape in violation of 1661, false imprisonment in violation of 16541, robbery in violation of 16840, and battery, visible harm, in violation of 16523. So those are his charges, and they're revealing the facts and the events. So on June 17th, 2017, DeKalb County uniform officer responded to DeKalb Medical Hospital in reference to a rape. Special victim unit was contacted, and I responded to DeKalb Medical and met with Kiara Simon. The statement was recorded. According to the victim, she was referred to the cash taxi suspect for a ride because he identified himself on Craigslist as a driver who accepted cash payments. So he was posing as a cash taxi, driving females around, looking for suspects. She advised that she received a number from a friend who used the driver one time in the past. The victim advised that she called the number and spoke with a male who identified himself as Dra, who agreed to pick the victim up at a house located at 636 Kilkenny Circle. The suspect sent by a text a picture of himself prior to arriving at the victim's home. So we sent the picture showing how he looked, you know what I'm saying? When the driver arrived, the victim advised she was standing outside of her home. The two spoke over phone as she directed him to her front door. The victim entered the front passenger seat of the vehicle, a black SUV unknown tags at the time. So as you can see in the paperwork, we have pictures of the SUV, black SUV at that. The male drove eastbound on Kilkenny Circle, making 2 right turns out of the subdivision onto Ersbury Drive. The victim stated that the black male, described at 5'10", stocky build, wearing gray jogging pants, white t-shirt, gray and white tennis shoes, suddenly pulled over to the wrong side of the road and stopped the vehicle in front of a private drive. Address later identified as 7385 Ersbury Drive. So he knew what he was doing. In his whole mind, he was going to take it to a secluded place and, do what he needed to do. The victim stated the suspect moved to the passenger side of the vehicle and began pulling her dress up and her panties down. She stated he was too strong and she tried to fight him off. He got on top of her and forced his penis into her vagina. When the assailant stopped, the suspect placed the vehicle in drive and began to speed away. Wow. The victim stated she opened the passenger door and attempted to get out the vehicle. The suspect picked up speed. So as she was trying to get out the vehicle, he picked up speed. Damn. The victim held on to the door, and when the suspect did not stop the vehicle, the victim fell from the moving vehicle. So she fell out the moving vehicle trying to escape this monster. She sustained injuries to her shoulders, her back, and legs from the fall. Photographs were taken of her injuries, so they have proof of her injuries. She described the truck. Wow. Her cell phone identification along with a Walmart card valued at $50 was still in the vehicle. She stated she lost one of her shoes, a black and pink Nike slipper. As she ran back towards her home, a neighbor observed her injuries, and after telling the neighbor what had happened, they immediately drove the victim to the hospital. On the way to the hospital, the victim saw the suspect black SUV parked on the curb of S. Deshawn Road. So she seen this car, his truck, parked up, probably looking for another victim. She pointed out, "That's him," and the neighbor turned around to get a better look. The victim said they pulled directly behind the black SUV, and she wrote down a partial tag, RCD55, on a piece of paper. She said she could see the driver sitting inside the vehicle. Because she and the neighbor was afraid for their safety, she continued to the hospital and called 911. That's the best thing to do. Just get the police involved. You got his license plates, you got the vehicle description. Let's get the cops involved. A sexual assault kit was later collected and submitted to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation for testing, GBI. When the victim was released from DeKalb Medical Hospital later this same date, she showed me exactly where the vehicle stopped and the assault occurred. While conducting a check along the driveway of the incident location to conduct a check of the area of the assault, I spotted a black and pink Nike slipper about 100 feet up the driveway of the vacant house with the address listed on a tree in front of the home at 7385. So they found her slippers. You know what I'm saying? That's evidence. The victim stated the incident occurred in the street and she did not know where. She did not know how the slippers got in the yard. She was unable to provide a suspect phone number because her phone was taken by the suspect. Remember, her phone was left in his truck as she was trying to escape, and she jumped out and hurt herself. Her belongings was left in the truck. On Sunday, June 18th, 2017, she was able to get the suspect's cell phone number from Shimona Taylor, the same person that originally gave her the number. Ms. Taylor advised during an interview that after surgery at Atlanta Medical Center, her doctor informed her that she could not leave the hospital unless she had transportation home. Because she was anxious to leave, she Googled Craigslist and got the suspect number. He arrived and transported her home without incident. She provided the victim with the same number when the victim needed a ride. So she was explaining how she met Chris Ambias. She needed transportation, so Shimona used his number, but at the time he didn't assault her. So Shimona passed the number on to her friend, and that's when he assaulted her. Earlier the same date, Sunday, June 18th, another female was sexually assaulted with the similar transaction. A black male, 30s, 6 foot 230, driving a black SUV, that same truck again. The second female also had to fall from a moving vehicle after she was forced to perform oral sex of the suspect, and he refused to stop and let the victim out of the vehicle. So he told her to jump, bitch. Wicked motherfucker, man. He's a wicked nigga. During the assault, the victim was cut on her wrist by an unknown weapon, so he cut her wrist. I told y'all he cut her wrist. This is in the paperwork. The suspect kept the victim's cell phone. This second incident gave cause for concern of a possible serial rapist. So they labeled Chris Ambias a serial rapist. And this is who y'all look up to in battle rap. Based on the information and exigent circumstances request, a form was submitted to T-Mobile, the suspect phone subscriber. The cell phone ping for the number revealed that the phone was located, the location of the phone, and that was thrown out because they had a search warrant to get that ping from T-Mobile. On June 21st, 2017, Sergeant Big, Detective McNeil, Detective Lewis, and I responded to Rockdale Magistrate Court. A search warrant was obtained for the residence, and we, Rockdale Deputy Sheriff, assisted with the execution of the search warrant, where investigator and couple cops' name. The suspect fitting the description given by the victim, identified as Christopher Gunsby, date of birth, was detained. So they arrested him. When this person ID'd him, DeKalb County crime investigator Richardson responded. Photograph was taken and a list of property was removed. A black Expedition with the same tags. You know what I'm saying? That RCD. Remember, she had the parcel tags of that Expedition, but it was taken. So that was impounded. A black and chrome Cobra handgun stolen out of DeKalb County was located. The victim's cell phone was found in the garage attic in a black backpack. So they found the victim's cell phone. So what does Chris Mbias have to say? The victim's cell phone was found. You hid it, and they found it with a plastic bag containing counterfeit $20 bills bearing the same serial number on each fake bill. So they found counterfeit money and all of that. The counterfeit money was taken and turned over to Rockdale Fraud Unit. The suspect's second cell phone that he provided during execution of warrant, a different number than the one used on Craigslist. The pink cell phone was located in a shoe on the closet shelf of bedroom 2. The phone was on silent but vibrated, so they found the suspect's cell phone when they dialed the number, but it was on silent. The original search warrant was amended and obtained by Detective Lewis. 3 JVC camcorders and a hard drive to a computer was removed for extraction based on numerous objects and items indicating possible child pornography. Wow, so this just get worse and worse. So now we talking child pornography in your camcorders and your computer. Based on the recovery of the victim's cell phone, the suspect was taken into custody for rape, false imprisonment, aggravated assault, and robbery of victim's cell phone. Wow. On June 21st, a search warrant was obtained for a black 4-door Expedition, Georgia tag RCD 6955. Remember, she wrote down the partial plates, VIN number, and all that is right here. This is the official paperwork for Chris Mbias. Got the VIN number. Then they got the property located from the vehicle. Blood sample from the front passenger door. A gray blanket, a white blanket, 1 Cobra auto handgun, a silver magazine, a 380 live. So he's carrying a lot of guns on him. On June 23rd, 2017, a search warrant was executed for the person, Christopher Gunsby, and executed in the DeKalb County Jail. A sample of his DNA through a collection of his saliva using buccal swab was submitted to GBI for testing, along with the victim's sexual assault collection. The suspected blood samples from front passenger door, the suspected semen sample, front passenger seat, and positive presumptive test, front passenger seat. Preliminary hearing conducted on July 6, 2017. All documents, statements, and reports relevant to this case have been placed in the property evidence room. All digital copies have been placed in RMS. This case is forwarded to the DeKalb County Attorney Office for prosecution. So that's his cash cab operation.